Hey guys, this is Tanishk, your AI automation expert in action once again. And in this particular video, we're gonna talk about what is agent-to-agent protocol. Okay, we're gonna understand the A2A protocol, and I can assure you right now that after seeing this video, you don't need to watch any other video at least to understand the A2A protocol. Okay, so let's get started. And the only prerequisite that I have is that you must know about the AI agents. Okay, before continue in this video, I just want to tell you that you must know about AI agents, because then only you'll be able to understand the whole protocol thing, like why is it even built it, who is it built it for, what problems it solves, and other stuff as well. So A to A, agent to agent. The name itself clarifies. The name itself tells you what it is. From one agent to another agent, like how two agents gonna communicate with each other. That's what agent to agent protocol is. A to A protocol. Okay, it's all about standardizing the communication between one agent to another agent, of how these two agents are going to talk to each other. It's all about standardizing this communication process between two agents. I hope you understand it right now at a very base level. Yeah. So things we'll cover in this video. First is how landscape looked like before A2A, because of course, before A2A as well, agents were talking to each other. Okay, agents are talking to each other, they are able to communicate with each other, but we're gonna take a look of the complete landscape. Okay, the second part we're gonna go through is that how A2A is solving the problems that are present into the current landscape. Okay, how A2A is solving those problems, like what steps, what kind of processes it is doing to solve those problems. So we're gonna go through that as well. And the third point is understanding the concepts of A2A at a technical level. And for the third point, we're gonna go off this presentation, and I'm gonna show you everything into the website of the Google's GitHub website. Okay, in which they have actually written the whole documentation about the agent to agent protocol. Okay, about its whole thing from the technical concepts and everything. So I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna also take you go through, make sure that I'm gonna help you to go through about from the technical concepts as well. So yeah, stick with me till the end of this video, and I can guarantee you that you will be able to understand the A2A right now in this video. Okay. So first point, how landscape looked like before A2A, and as you can see, this person over here, he's like in a lot of pain right now. He's sweating actually, and he's because carrying a lot of loads, a lot of mental disturbance and frustration. Okay, so first point of the current landscape is that custom APIs everywhere. Okay, each agent system had its own way of exposing endpoints or communicating, which meant every integration was custom built, often brittle and hard to scale. So every agent has their own way of how they send requests and how they send responses and how they overall work and other things. And if I want this particular agent to talk this particular agent, okay, and these two agents has their own way of how they interact. Okay, so I need to, as a developer, I need to walk in every time and I need to customly wire them, that when this particular agent sends a response in this format and in this ways, then you need to respond in this is manner, and you're gonna handle this whole thing like that. And I constantly need to wire them. I customly build the integration part of how the agents, of how the multiple agents in a particular systems talk to each other. Okay, I need to just go through the complete integration part by myself. I, as a developer, I need to customly build the whole integration of those multiple agents, of how they're gonna communicate with each other. Okay, so there is no standardization. Is this, it's hard to scale, there is no standardization, and every time I need to build a new, like I need to customly code and build a new solution of how they're communicating. And this itself tells you that, like how actually like how uh, helpful A2A can be, because thousands and thousands of agents are being like getting created and deployed on a weekly basis. And of course, the multi-agent system thing will going to get very common in the upcoming years. Okay, and if something is getting this much common, like how agents are going to talk to each other, then this things needs to be actually generalized as well. Okay, this things needs to be standardized, so every time of developers don't need to come in and just to integrate the communication only every time. Okay, like customly building their own standard, okay, for these two agents only. Okay, like how they're going to talk to each other, like customly building them every time is just a mental frustration sometimes. Okay, and the second point is that no standard for discovery. And so this is actually something which is gonna, so like So for the second point, there was no consistent way for one agent to discover another agent's capabilities. Agents couldn't just say, hey, what can you do? And get a standardized response with that particular thing. So if you know, as a developer, if I have this particular client agent, okay, so client agent is some, so in the A2A, there is a concept of client agent and this and the remote agents. Client agents initiates a task. Client agent tells what to do to the remote agent, and remote agent performs those actions. So there is a client agent and there is a remote agent. Just like in the HTTP, we tell, okay, we actually initiate some kind of requests and the server performs those actions. It's same almost, you can think of it like the in the A2A, we have a client agent that initiates a task, that requests a task to get performed, and we have a remote agent that actually gonna perform the task. Now the task can be short, the task can be very long. There are multiple things, there are multiple situations, okay, and there's no standard for discovery. So as a client agent, I don't have any kind of way to discover other agents' capabilities. Of course, if I'm gonna customly wire them, if I'm gonna customly, integrate two agents with this particular agent, then I'm gonna tell this agent that what these two agents can do. Okay, but let's say, but now we are, standardizing the thing. We are standardizing the complete communication. So if there is another, so if there is an agent, remote agent at another system, okay, out of the this agent's capabilities. So how the hell this particular agent will gonna get to know about that agent's capabilities, and how they actually performs the task and their skills and their name, descriptions, there's all those capabilities and everything. How this agent will gonna get to know about that? So it was gonna solve this problem as well. And the third point that we have is a lack of composability. You couldn't easily chain or orchestrate agents unless you manually wire them together, as we talked about, okay, as we talked about in the first one only. Customly wiring them, knew their exact interfaces and manage their interactions, like knew the exact interfaces and manage the interactions, like whenever this particular request, the agent is sending some response or something, this agent, we need to hardware this agent, okay, that this particular, in this response we have this key, so use this key and all those things. We need to customly tell him what, like how to handle the interactions from each agent, and that's a mental frustration, okay, that's a lot of load if you're gonna think about it in depth. And the fourth thing that we have is the tool overlap and the memory issues. Agents would often be built with overlapping tools environments with no way to share knowledge or workload dynamically, okay, making things inefficient. I hope you get to know about the current landscape, okay. And now I'm gonna go through the how A2 is solving these problems, okay. So the first point, seamless agent collaboration, introduces a standard protocol for autonomous OPEC agents built on different frameworks and by various vendors to communicate and collaborate effectively with each other, okay, and with users as well, addressing the current lack of agent interoperability. I hope you know what it's solving, how it's actually solving. They have created a single standard protocol. It's like a single language for the people of all countries, okay, to talk to each other, to talk, to communicate. So it's like a standard, so like, it's a standard protocol, the different kind of agents will be able to talk to each other. And the second thing is that simplifies enterprise agent integration. So provides a straightforward way to integrate intelligent agents into existing enterprise applications and allowing businesses to leverage agent capabilities across the technology landscape. I hope you got to know about the second part as well. It's very easy now to understand. Third part supports key enterprise requirements. Okay, so it's a standard protocol. So it must should be you know enterprise grade. The protocol should be enterprise grade. It should have the great security, a great ecosystem, okay, handling the secure collaboration, everything. So it should be, enterprise level of protocol should be. So offers core functionalities essential for secure enterprise grade agent ecosystems, okay, including capability discovery. And as we talked about, there's no way to discover in the current landscape without using the A2A. But with A2A, you get all of these things. Okay, user experience negotiation, task, and state management. You can manage tasks. You can perform tasks at a very standardized way without getting the headache of customly wiring them together, two agents, and secure collaboration. And that's what it was. I hope you understand it. I hope you understood the complete agent-to-agent protocol. Okay. So the key difference. What's the key difference in that? Before A2A, yes, agents could talk, but you have to custom wire them together. Okay, as I mentioned, agents could talk before A2A, but it's a headache. Okay, that every time you need to build, you need to customly integrate each agent, okay, to talk. You need to customly integrate each of them, and that's what custom word means. Okay, of course, and that was happening before A2A. After A2A, agents speak the same language out of the box. It's like going from handwritten letters to using emails. I don't think I have. Yeah, I don't think that this sign is gonna align with this part. Yeah, because I still didn't return it because now I have a different analogy. Before that, I have this kind of analogy, but right now, what analogy I'm speaking about is that, so I have actually built it this analogy, but it was not gonna work great. So let me tell you this, the analogy. Think about this: that people, okay, from different kind of cities, and I mean not cities, from different countries, are getting, are gathering together somewhere, okay, and one speaks French, one speaks Spanish, one speaks English, one Hindi, one Chinese, and like this, and they want to talk to each other, they want to communicate, but then they will not be able to communicate because everyone has their own set of standards, everyone has their own language, their own protocols in their own specific countries. Okay, when they're gonna gather together, there's no way that they'll be able to talk with each other. Okay, and A2A is like the standard language, okay, by which they all can communicate. Okay, it's like the standard language of the whole agents thing. Okay, I hope you got to know about this analogy. What is Google's A2A protocol? So we talked about the landscapes. We talked about what, how, and what A2A is actually solving. But what exactly is A2A protocol? Okay, by the Google that the Google has spread. So now I'm gonna dive deep into the agent-to-agent protocol. So the first one is a new open protocol for agents to talk via HTTP. Very easy. Okay, as I mentioned, built using standard TAC, JSON RPC, HTTP, SSE kind of protocols as well. So inside this own protocol, we like at a very in-depth level. This protocol is also using the HTTP, SSE, JSON RPC requests, and other things. Okay, focused on modularity, security, and composability. Great, built by Google DeepMind and collaborators. Perfect. So I hope you understood what is A2A protocol and how the things have been going through. Okay, how it's solving things and what is A2A protocol at a very concept level. I hope you understand it because I'm seeing many people on YouTube, they are talking about the A2 protocol, but they're not explaining it exactly what was the landscape with the multi-agent. Because I have seen a lot of my clients and other people also in my business world, because I'm the founder of Synestia. Okay, we provide actually AI solutions to different kind of businesses, and we actually custom and we actually provide the custom tailored solutions to specific businesses, and we actually focus on one specific pain point at a time by consulting with the business owners at a very in-depth level actually. Okay, so we're going to talk about that at some time, but I've seen a lot of people, they don't know the concept of multi-agents at a very in-depth level. They don't just know agents. What are AI agents? They just know that. Okay, and that's when I told you about the complete landscape, problems, solutions, and everything that I told you about. So now you're going to be understand everything very clearly. Okay, about the concept thing. That's what the A2A thing is. So now we're gonna jump to the actual a little bit of kind of technical part. Okay, so let's go through that now. So here we are. Okay, let's talk about the actors. Okay, so if you go to the enterprise ready, so as you can see, they actually put a lot of things. So I don't think that we need to go through this right now. Maybe you can actually read, the whole enterprise readiness is there. Okay, about everything, authenticating clients and authorization, skills, tools, everything is there. Okay, you can go through all of these things, all of these documents as well. It's your choice, of course, but we're gonna cover the main basic core concepts. Okay, so let's talk about the actors. So every protocol has some actors. For if let's take example of HTTP. In HTTP, we have two actors. Okay, like at a technical level, I'm talking about. We have two actors. One is the client who is initiating a request, and one is the server, okay, who is accepting that request, performing some actions, and sending back the response to the client. So these two actors are there, client and server. In the A2A also, there are there are actually three actors, but at a technical level, there are two actors only, because user is you only, the human. Okay, user is the human who is actually clicking some buttons and mouse clicks, okay, to in this system and initiating some kind of action through the client agent. Okay, so now we have the second one, who is the client, and now we are going at technical level. Okay, so in the technical level we have two actors. So the entity, the client, the entity can be a service, can be an agent, and can be an application. Okay, remember this, it's not just about agent. For the simplification, I'm telling about the only agent thing, but it can be a service, it can be an agent, and it can be an application as well, that is requesting an action from an opaque agent on behalf of the user. Okay, this is what the client agent is. They're requesting an action from an opaque agent on behalf of the user. As I mentioned, client agent initiates task, okay, initiates actions, and remote agent, that we have the remote server, performs those tasks, performs those actions. Okay, like it actually act on those actions, the requested actions from the client. And that's what the actors are. Okay, now I'm not gonna talk about the transport and the zinc. We can talk about it. Okay, like how they are actually, how the data is exchanging, what kind of protocols they're using. It's all about that. And the zinc thing, okay, asynchronous, understandable. And authentication, authorization, of course we have this part. And it's important to build this part, of course, because if you're gonna think about it, standardization means I am a client agent, and in other organization there is some other agent, okay, the other remote agent who is also using A2A protocol, and I'm the client in some other organization, some at a very different level. I'm the client agent, and this agent is an organization based agent. Okay, I can't just perform actions directly from my client agent to this particular agent. So they have some authentication authorization models. So A2A takes care of the authentication authorization, because when things going to get global, there should be authorization and authentication, of course, because as it happens with the HTTP, you need to authorize for the API calls and everything, of course. Okay, that's what was almost same with the A2A as well. And then we have the most important thing at a technical level, the agent card. Okay, agent card is like, at a very basic level, if I say, think about like this: each agent is going school. Okay, and they have their own ID card. Each agent has their own ID card, in which they have their own, in which they have all the information about their particular agent. Okay, their name, their description, and what kind of skills they have, what are their endpoints, and more other kind of like other kind of things. They have all the information in that agent, in that their ID card. Okay, that's what the agent card is. Every remote agent, I'm the client agent, and I have these four remote agents. So these remote agents are actually having their agent ID card, agent card, that tells what they can do, what they can't do. Okay, that's how only. And what happens is that, and that's what the agent card is. Okay, at a very basic level. So remote agents that supports A2A are required to publish an agent card in JSON format, describing the agents, describing their itself. Okay, their own remote agents' capabilities, skills, and authentication mechanisms. Clients use the agent card information to identify the best agent that can perform a task and leverage A2A to communicate with that remote agent. What is happening is, I am the client agent, and these are the four remote agents, and they have actually published their agent ID card. Means they have, means like, think about like, they are wearing their agent ID cards, each of them, and I can and they're actually exposing it because they're wearing it, so I can see their agent ID cards and I can just view them. Okay, what they can do, what they can't do. So it's like, I am the client agent, and I'm sending request to get their agent ID card. Okay, I can get their agent ID card, and I can just watch like what are the things they can do, what's their names, what their descriptions, what their skills, and everything. I can just get an every info about these agents. Okay, so I can actually select which agent will going to be the best one for the task that I need to perform. So by looking all the details in the agent card, I will be able to get all the details. Okay, get all the, like, I will be able to select the right agent for the task I need to perform. That's what it is. That's why the agent card is used for. Okay, client client agent can actually request to get those agent cards. Okay, by getting those agent cards, I can view and I can select the agent if it's good for me or not. Okay, and that's what all it is. It's an identity of the agent. So the discovery. Now, agent card is agent card, but we recommend that agents host their agent card. So let's just go through the actual description of it. Okay, we recommend agents host their agent card at HTTP based URL. okay, with this kind of like expose at last the JSON file. So we're gonna directly get the JSON, and this is compatible with a DNS approach where the client finds the server IP via DNS and sends HTTP GET to retrieve the agent card. We also anticipate that systems will maintain private registries, for example, an agent catalog or a private marketplace. Okay, make sure you're getting all this agent catalog and private marketplace, etc. More discussion found in this particular document. So I'm the client agent, and as a discovery, okay, that's what discovery is. So I'm discovering their agent ID cards. Okay, that's what the discovering meaning is. I'm the client agent, and I'm discovering their agent ID cards by uh, performing an HTTP GET request to the path where they have actually exposed their agent ID cards. Okay, where their agent ID card is. So I'm discovering it, all of their agent ID cards. That's what it is. Just discovering. A client agent can actually discover remote agents ID cards. They can get them using the HTTP request, and they can just see like what are the capabilities and if it's good for me or not. Here's a representation of that as well. So following is the proposed representation of an agent card. So this is the whole interface. Okay, this is the whole JSON or we're gonna look like. Okay, the complete object, the keys, and description, URL, and everything. This whole interface, like this is the whole blueprint of the agent card, of how agent card will gonna look like. Okay, I hope you understand it at a very clear level. Great. And you can we can able to see the JSON also. Like this is an actual real world example of an agent card. Okay, it's a Google Maps agent. Okay, as you can see, this agent tells its name is Google Maps agent. Okay, and description is plan routes, remember places, and generate directions. So that's what this agent does. Okay, it's his identity. I'm seeing this particular agent's agent card, and if it will going to be good for me, I can actually, according by seeing his agent card, I can actually request particular tasks for him to perform these things and all other things like that. Okay, I hope you understood it. Great. So that's what it was. Okay, agent card, you understood discovery, agent card, and agent communication. So yeah, the communication between a client and a remote agent is oriented towards task completion. Okay, it's all about like oriented towards the task completion. Okay, where agents collaboratively fulfill an end user's request. Okay, so all agents, client agents and the remote agents collaboratively fulfill an end user's request at last, of course, because there are three actors: user, client, and remote agents. So all the agents and all the sub agents inside the remote agent as well, they all gonna work together and like fulfill end user's request. A task object allows a client and the remote agent to collaborate for completing the submitted task. Okay, a task object allows a client and a remote agent to collaborate for completing the submitted task. Okay, whatever user has told you has like told the task to perform, task object, okay, allows a client and remote agent to collaborate with each other. So it's like a now more technical thing. Okay, so we're gonna go through it. A task can be completed by a remote agent immediately, or it can be a long running tasks. The client may poll the agent for fetching the latest status. Agents can also push notifications to the client via SSE, great, connected or through an external notification service as well. Okay, so if I talk about the task object now, okay, a task is a stateful entity that allows clients and users to. So task is a kind of an data type. Think of it like a data type. Of course, it's going to be in the JSON format only when we're gonna go through it. But think of it like a kind of a schema. Okay, task has its own data schema. Okay, in a task, in a JSON task, we have ID, we have session ID, status, history, and other artifacts and metadata. This is what a task is. Okay, using this only. Okay, so like a task is always going to be created by the client. Okay, and it's going to be performed by the remote agent. That's what it is, a task. Okay. So now there are a lot more concepts. Okay, there are parts, message, artifact. So artifact is something that is actually comes as the end result of the task, and artifacts are immutable. Okay, and that's what it is, the artifacts. So it's the end result of the task. Maybe it's a success or maybe it's failed. Everything will gonna come at the artifact. We have part, text part, file part, data part. So it's a lot of things that we can go through right now. If you wanna go through that, and that's what whole A to A is. There are a lot of things right now over here. Okay, can't go with through each of them right now, but I hope I like you know told you what the whole A2A looks like, how it actually works and everything. Okay, and I also want to show you this complete A2A and MCP contribution that they have actually added. Okay, and like what this says, like what's the view of the Google's team in behind creating this protocol. So like they've actually added this nice whole documentation over here, like why protocols. Standard protocols are essential for enabling agentic interoperability, particularly in connecting agents to external systems. This is critical in two interconnected areas of innovation: tools and agents. As you can see, interoperability, agentic interoperability, particularly in connecting agents to external systems, and like standardizing protocols and like their own things there right now, as you can see right now, like why protocols. Okay, and tools are primitives with structured inputs and outputs and typically well-known behavior. Agents are autonomous applications that can accomplish novel tasks by using tools. So agents are the ones who like uses those tools to perform some task. Okay, so agent is the main brain and tools are the utilities that the brain is having. Okay, that it can use to perform those tasks. Okay, so the tools is something that is used by the each agent personally itself. Okay, and that's what it is. Also, I needed to show you a very great photo. Okay, let me show you that. So I think it's in the home maybe. Yeah, so as you can see, as you're all seeing right now, this was a picture by the Google they provided. As you can see, there are two agents, and in between there is a line, and this actually reads organizational or technological boundaries. So A2A protocol is like going through the organizational and technological boundaries. Okay, that were being like that has been like created in the particular landscape before the A2A, and A2A is like going. It is allowing us to go through those boundaries. It's allowing us to just go through the boundaries and seamlessly communicate with each other. And as you can see, these both agents, okay, that are talking to each other, have their now they're just talking to each other, perform tasks and other things. But here comes the MCP, here comes the tools part. As you can see, MCP is something that is like used by the each agent personally. Okay, MCP helps to integrate the tools and resources very easily to any kind of agent. Okay, it's actually simplifies the whole integration part. Okay, that if you already know about that, I can't go in very depth right now about the MCP, but that's what it does. Okay, as you can see, each agent has their own MCP connection right now. Okay, as you can see that right now over here and over here as APIs, enterprise applications, and other things. MCP is something that is used by the each agent personally at a personal level, and A2A protocol is like so the two agents communication together. Okay, that's what it's all about. I hope you understood, and that's what the whole A2A is. I hope you understood the complete A2A at a very great level. Okay, I hope that like you must have understood the complete A2A. Okay, and that's what the whole thing is. And I also want to talk about like if you are like so I hope you completely understand the complete A2A of how this whole thing is working and everything. And just wanted to say that, and yeah, like so I'm the founder of Tanish Sinister Tech, and actually we provide this kind of, and we actually provide custom AI solutions to businesses. Okay, and we provide custom tailored solutions to all the businesses, all the kind of businesses. Okay, like where whatever their pain point is, we consult with them on that part. Okay, we take like why this problem is being arising. Okay, what are the different aspects of it, what are the actual behind problems that can be solved by the AI, like how AI can actually will able to solve these problems. Okay, for like people and for like the business and all. And you can actually spend, and you can actually right now book a call with me, and we can, and if you're a business owner wants who is like facing some kind of problem or something, we can actually talk to each other. Okay, and so that's all for today, guys. I hope you understood the complete A2A protocol at a very in-depth level in a very great way. Okay, of course, like you can do a more deep dive into the more technical part, but I hope that you understood the complete protocol, the landscapes, okay, that's been arising before the A2A, and how A2A solves these problems and all those things. I hope you find it really interesting, and I hope you I hope your like doubts and everything concepts have been cleared crystal clearly. I'm gonna meet you in another video. Stick with me. Okay, just subscribe and click the bell icon, because I'm actually putting this kind of data and this kind of education related content regarding the AI and regarding the tools and new AI custom solutions. I'm providing this kind of content consistently in YouTube now. So just subscribe and hit the bell icon so you'll be able to stay updated on top of everyone in the AI space. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna meet you in another video. Great.